Welcome back to Live Alive. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Liverpool Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Liverpool tipped to sign special Endre. According to reports, Liverpool remain interested in Manchester United-linked midfielder Endre, who is really liked by key figures at Anfield. Liverpool overhauled their midfield during the summer transfer window as £150 million was spent to recruit Alexis Mac Allister, Dominic Szoboszlai, Wataru Endo, and Ryan Gravenberch. Despite this, they were unable to recruit a top-level defensive midfielder to replace Fabinho. Endo is arguably best suited to fill this role, but the 30-year-old is likely viewed as a rotational option. Endre is a promising defensive midfielder who was heavily linked with Liverpool and Man United during the summer transfer window. The 22-year-old has emerged as a key player for Fluminense, and it's been suggested that they are unwilling to let him leave before this season's Copa Libertadores finishes in November. Despite this, it was claimed last month that Endre has already agreed terms with Liverpool. Brazilian outlet Lance meanwhile have revealed that there is a €40 million release clause in the player's current contract. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has now indicated that Liverpool will keep monitoring the player, and his situation is something to keep an eye on. It's not over. It's still something we have to keep an eye on because Liverpool really like Endre, Romano said via his Here We Go podcast. They had positive conversations with Fluminense. They have good relationships. Fluminense were showing how strong they are in the Brazilian and South American market, as they said no way the player is leaving. So credit to Fluminense. It was not easy, but I think Liverpool will keep monitoring the player. This is a special player. This is not a normal player. Endre is a very, very good player. Konate and Trent return to training. Liverpool have hinted at a key injury boost ahead of the weekend game against Wolves, with Ibrahima Konate and Trent Alexander-Arnold appearing to be back in training. The Reds welcomed their first-team players back from international duty on Thursday ahead of the Saturday lunchtime kickoff at Molino, as the squad headed out for their session under Jurgen Klopp. The pair were pictured by the club's social media in training gear for what looked like a return to work. Konate, 24, sat out France's matches due to a hamstring injury that has kept him sidelined for Liverpool's last two games. Didier Deschamps initially called him up to his squad before the defender withdrew, and he has spent time off in Paris during the international break. Klopp revealed ahead of Liverpool's win over Aston Villa, "I expect him to be back after the international break." Konate's return would be timely given Virgil van Dijk is suspended for the games at Wolves. Alexander-Arnold has been another doubt for the Anfield outfit, and Sky Sports failed to pick the defender out when the session began. Thiago Alcantara and Darwin Nunez also missed out after the striker picked up an injury worry while away with Uruguay. The manager will update fans when he holds his pre-game press conference on Friday. Perfect Klopp replacement identified. Brighton boss Roberto De Zerbi is the perfect manager to replace Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool when the German's contract expires in 2025, says Danny Murphy. De Zerbi joined the Seagulls last September after Graham Potter left the club to take on the Chelsea job, nearly a year on, and Potter has been unemployed since April after a difficult stint at Stamford Bridge, while De Zerbi has taken Brighton to another level. Under the Italian, they qualified for Europe for the first time in the club's history and have been handed a very tasty Europa League group alongside Ajax, Marseille, and AEK Athens. The football Brighton play has brought De Zerbi plenty of plaudits, with the 3-0 Premier League win at Arsenal in May particularly catching the eye. Because every other club in the world is irrelevant, many think De Zerbi is destined to join one of the Premier League's big six clubs, or seven if we are counting Newcastle United, and Murphy has made the interesting claim that he is Klopp's perfect successor at Liverpool, having displayed real gravitas during his time at Brighton. Klopp's contract does not expire for another 2 years, and Murphy does not expect the German to depart before then, so naturally De Zerbi is the ideal candidate to come in ahead of the 2025-26 season. "I'm not worried about Klopp leaving," he told TalkSport. "I think De Zerbi is perfect. He'll be ready then to take over. I think he plays great football. He looks a strong character, is learning his trade in this league with Brighton and doing it superbly well. I don't see a better candidate." Things change in football really quickly, so the flavor of the month might be someone else this time next year. But I think he's De Zerbi, the real deal. There is something about him. After meeting him as well, I can say, he's got real gravitas, a real presence, and I love the way his teams play. But I can't see Klopp going for some time yet. He's got this new influx of players, and he seems enthused by Liverpool's start. to the season, and the promising start of some of the new signings. Klopp has recently been linked with the German national team job after Hansi Flick became the first manager to be sacked from that role. He has previously said he has the desire to manage at international level at some point in his career. However, that is widely expected to come after the expiry of his Reds contract, if at all. Liverpool could sign Mo Salah's successor for free. The Saudi-provoked concern about Mohamed Salah's future has led to speculation about who will eventually succeed the Egyptian at Anfield, when he eventually does leave Anfield. One player regularly named as a potential future Liverpool player is Nico Williams. The Athletic recently included the Athletic Club and Spain star in a piece outlining potential options for the Reds post-Salah, while Anfield Watch's own Danny Corcoran made the case for the 21-year-old earlier this summer, writing, "Where the Pamplona-born forward thrives is in 1-against-1s and progressing the ball up the pitch through his dribbling. He ranks in the 95th percentile for progressive carries per 90, 5.9, and the 92nd percentile for successful take ONS per 90, 2.81. He does this through his frightening pace and the ability to use both feet." Seen as a rising star of Spanish football, Williams scored 9 goals and registered 6 assists in 43 games in 2022-23, and has 4 assists from 4 so far this season. Now, Estadio Deportivo report that the Reds were among the clubs who have asked about Williams, while noting the forward has a tempting €50 million, £43 million, release clause in his contract. Liverpool aren't the only club interested, however. Williams turned down a move to Aston Villa over the summer, while Estadio Deportivo's piece claims that Barcelona have set their sights on the 10-cap Spain international for next summer. Williams caught the eye during the international break with an impressive goal and 3 assists over 2 games for his country, and his situation is particularly enticing for suitors with his current contract set to expire at the end of the 2023-24 campaign. It is said that Barca have already contacted Felix Tainter, Williams' agent, to let him know that he is on the club's list of future signings, if he doesn't sign a new deal in Bilbao. While it is reported that Williams and Athletic Club are currently in talks over new terms, Liverpool would be allowed to agree a pre-contract to sign the young forward on a free transfer next summer from January, if he has not yet extended his current deal by the turn of the year. However, Mundo Deportivo claimed that the player currently only has eyes for a renewal, despite dizzying offers from admiring clubs. Over at El Carrillo, meanwhile, it is suggested that the player, who joined Athletic's youth academy 10 years ago, is still keeping the door open to joining a top club in the future. While Williams' talent and contract situation and make him an enticing prospect and surely a shrewd signing, the chances of actually pulling off a deal may ultimately be slim. The Reds would need to put in considerable groundwork to convince the youngster not to renew at his boyhood club, where his family ties are famously strong. Williams' older brother, Inaki, also once turned down a move to Anfield back in 2019. "I had an option to leave," the older Williams told AS, when asked about Liverpool's interest. "It's nice that clubs like this try to get you, but I was always clear that I want to be at Athletic." And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.